any school. And if that, let's say that charter is 7,500, he can use that to go to private school or to a public school or to a charter school. He now has a choice. So what happens now, everybody has to compete. They have to give 110% of what they can do. They have to give the best product they can possibly do. They have to innovate. They have to come up with new ideas. They have to provide excellent teaching. They have to do everything they possibly can. And that's what you've already seen in the private education market. You've already seen in the college market. It works. And I think we now need to see it in the K through 12 market. I mean, there's no reason that 95% of students should not have access to that kind of education, which is what we have right now.
But that's so idealistic.
Sure.
In the real world, the first thing you will come across are the unions. They're going to chop you down. How are you going to talk to them to accept you?
You know, there's two parts of a union, right? There's the people in the union, and those people are teachers. And, you know, one thing that I know about teachers, you know, being a teacher myself, having met, I don't know how many hundreds of teachers, you know, over the course of my life, and certainly during this campaign, is that teachers want to be able to teach. That's why they became teachers. Nobody becomes a teacher just for the paycheck. Maybe a few people do, but that is, you know, that's like a very tiny minority that occasionally gets an undue amount of emphasis in the press. You know, people who are teachers, they want to teach. And the first thing that you have to do is you have to let them teach. Because right now, the public school regulations are so restrictive that even a brilliant teacher who wants to innovate legally cannot. Or a brilliant administrator who wants to have a more flexible policy or merit-based pay or anything like that, legally they cannot. So am I going to be going directly to the union leaders? You know, realistically, that's probably a waste of time. But the teachers that fill those unions, those are people that I think in many ways have already been very responsive to this message. And I think as it becomes more and more practical, are going to become increasingly responsive. I mean, it's not like there's no voucher schools anywhere in the world. I mean, Belgium has a voucher school system. It's one of the most successful in the entire world. So it's not that it's, you know, something that's never been done before. It's been done, and it has worked.
But you know, in Montgomery County, it's the best school system, best educational system.
Yeah, but the idea that people in Montgomery County don't care about Baltimore is just wrong. I mean, people in Montgomery County do care about that. And when they see those kids in those Baltimore schools that are just not getting an education that's going to allow them to compete internationally or locally for that matter, they view that as a problem. And that's not something that they take lightly.
It's so good to see that you not only care about your district, but your whole state. And I want to wish you the best of luck. But before I let you go, I give you an opportunity. That's your camera. Go ahead, tell the voters why should they vote for you.
Okay. My main stance is education. And what I want is competition in education. Not between students, but between schools. And the same competition that's given you the best computer chips and everything else in the world can give you the best schools in the world throughout all of Maryland and then throughout all of America.
And I congratulate you for willing to serve, and I want to wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
We shall be right back.